welcome to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video, I have pulled out 22 palettes for my collection that I think are perfect for Valentine's Day. If you're into doing a Valentine's Day themed look, then I think all of these palettes would definitely do that for you. I did try to mix it up a little bit, like not just red and pink palettes or palettes with red and pink in them, but there are several palettes here that do have red and pink shades in them. So I try to get kind of a mix of things, you know, maybe have more obvious Valentine's Day palettes and maybe less obvious. I don't know. That's just what was going on in my brain. So I have, did I say 22 palettes here that I'm going to be showing you guys. I was going to try to just stick with 20, but there was two that I thought, no, I'm going to pull them in. So 22. So let's get started. These are in no particular order. I did not rank these. I'm just going to show them to you and explain why I think they're great for Valentine's Day. So let's start off with this one right here. This is a Katrice 5 in a box, Katrice Cosmetics 5 in a box, vivid burgundy look. And I think this is really nice for Valentine's Day. You know, I mean, more brick red, brownish. But, you know, I think that's a really nice color story for Valentine's Day. We've got these kind of really light pink and then, you know, brick red, brown, and this kind of like a reddish brown shimmer as well. And I've used this a few times and it works really well. I'd like to get more palettes from Katrice because I really enjoy this. And I have another one called the Blue Smoky Look. But yeah, really nice, really good quality. And it's small, compact. I mean, you could take this if you're going on a Valentine's Day trip somewhere, you could take this with you. I think that would work well in a makeup bag of some sort. Now I'm going to show you the Cara Beauty Party Girl palette. Now Jen Beauty, she sent this to me. Oops, if I can open it up. I have yet to use this. I really want to use it because, I mean, look how perfect that is for Valentine's Day. Reds, pinks, purples. Well, that's not really red. It's more dark pink. So pinks and purples. And then you got some, you know, fun, like corally colored shades in here. There is one shimmer and one pressed glitter, and the rest are all mattes. And Cara Beauty is a brand that I just love. And Jen knew how much I love Cara Beauty, so she sent this to me. And I've been meaning to film with this since she gave it to me or since she sent it to me quite a while ago. And, you know, just other stuff gets pulled into my life and then I forget my best laid plans. But I really do want to create a look with this for you guys. It's gorgeous. And again, Cara Beauty, great quality. I really like their palettes. Okay, so now let's go to this. This is the Saints, Angels, Sinners Secret Sinner Society palette. Now, the reason why I chose this is because, let me get the little plastic sheet out of here, is because it's a little vampier, a little sexier. You know, you got the red or, you know, yeah, it's red. Kind of a brick red, and then you've got these darker smokier shades in here, and this we have like kind of a purpley brownish red shimmer as well. So we have these three are shimmers and then these three are mattes. Well, this is more satiny, I would say, and I just think this is a very sexy color story, you know, very sexy. And I think this would be a perfect Valentine's Day palette, especially if you're going sexy, if you're going all into the sexy. This, I think, would definitely give that to you. I have not filmed with this yet. I haven't used this yet, but I will be doing that soon. And I just, you know, I love this brand. Then I have a palette from Morphe. This is the Just a Crush palette. This is primarily pink shades with, you know, kind of some brown tones in here too, like this here. This is more like a tan. These are pink. This is kind of like a peach color. My stepdaughter gave this to me as a gift, and I've used it a couple of times, I think 3 times total, and really enjoyed it. Very nice pigmentation. And, you know, I think the pinks definitely say Valentine's Day, would be perfect for Valentine's Day. And you've got depth in here, some light too, which I love palettes like that. Then we have the Unearthly Cosmetics, although it was Alien Cosmetics at the time that this was released, Strawberry Milkshake palette. And I think this is wonderful for Valentine's Day. Because again, you do have the red and pink, the more traditional Valentine's Day colors, but then you have lavender, these greens are gorgeous. This is a really nice transition shade or a blending shade. And this palette's quality is superb. I do have the Not Normal palette too that I got a few weeks ago that I think Leanna Dalton and I are going to collab with. It's going to be so fun. This color story did kind of throw me for a loop at first. I was like, that's kind of intimidating. I don't know what to do with it, but I've used it a few times and I've really enjoyed what I've done with it. Really fun. Now, the palette that I used for this look today came out of the Glam Light Cake palette. My dear friend Kim, hanging out with Kim, she gifted this to me, which I was blown away by, if I can open it. And I think this is perfect for Valentine's Day because you have pinks, reds, purples, but you got blues, yellows, you know. I mean, if you don't have to do a traditional Valentine's Day look with this palette because it's got a lot of different options in it. But if you're wanting the traditional red and pink, purpley stuff, you can use this. And it's a lovely palette, very nice quality. I'm really enjoying this. It was really fun to pull this out again and play with it today. I also grabbed the Cosmic Brushes Gothic palette because I'm thinking, well, maybe people might want to use more purpley shades, you know, because I think purple is a great Valentine's Day color too. And you've got a lot of depth in here. You know, these two shades are gorgeous, beautiful. This is probably my favorite purple, dark purple matte now in my collection. This is deep, that's deep. And the duochromes in here, especially these two, are just mind-blowingly gorgeous. But then you also have some lighter shades, some brighter shades, you know? So if you don't want to do the pink and red and you want to do purple, obviously this is a great choice because it's got a lot of purple shades in it and it's a beautiful palette. This palette makes me want to get all of the Cosmic Brushes palettes. It's Cosmic Beauty now, I think, right? But yeah, this is just stunning. I cannot wait to use this again. I also grabbed the Blushing Berries palette from Dose of Colors. Have not used this palette yet. I was going to declutter it when I did my eyeshadow palette collection and declutter videos. And I thought, no, I'm pulling that back because I want to try it. I've heard so many great things about the Dose of Colors formula, especially these 5-pan palettes. And you know, it's all matte palette. That was one of the reasons why I thought about decluttering it because I don't usually do all matte looks. But I have tons of beautiful single shimmers in my collection, so I could pull those in with this. And Shawnee has challenged me to do an all matte look, so I might use this for the all matte look. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, I think this would be perfect for Valentine's Day. I mean, the color story alone is, you know, perfect, I think. Then I grabbed the Plush Like Me palette from Colourpop, and I love the packaging. The outer packaging to me looks like Valentine's Day. It does, even though there's no hearts. I don't know, it just reminds me of Valentine's Day. And, you know, you have some reds here, but like more neutral leaning reds or more brownish reds. So if you're not wanting a real bright, vibrant red and pink look for Valentine's Day, you have more red leaning tones in here and even some pink leaning tones in here, but more subtle, more toned down, more neutral. And I've used this before and it's beautiful. Teresa Starship gifted this to me for a group collab that we did. And it's a really lovely Colourpop palette. They did a good job with this one. And of course, I grabbed the Salam palette from Gourmand Girls. I mean, it's love, Valentine's Day. You know, I felt that was appropriate. And this color story is so gorgeous. I think it's a very unique color story and it's just beautiful. I've mentioned this several times. This shade right here called We is my favorite. It's green and pink flippy. You know, you've got the beautiful reds, the beautiful pinks. This is looks white, but it's got a really pretty light pink shift to it. Very nice black matte. Very lovely formulation of that black matte. It's pigmented, blendable. I love it. But yeah, I just, you know, I look at this and it says Valentine's Day. I mean, it's love. Hello. And then, of course, I grabbed the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop Cherry on Top palette because it's full of red and pink shades, mostly pink. Most of these shades do not pull red on me at all, except for that one. The rest of these are pretty pink on me. Which, you know, whatever. Like I mentioned this a couple times. I was going to declutter this because I just thought this is not red. I want red, but it is a really nice quality palette. And I just have to get over the fact that it's not as red on me as I would like it to be. But I think this is BH Cosmetics' best formulation they ever came up with. I have another palette from Saints, Angels, Sinners. This is the Friends Giving palette. I have not used this yet, but I'm going to. Andy from Andy Does Stuff, she gifted this to me. So kind. And I think this color story is very Valentine's Day appropriate. Reds, pinks, purples, black matte. The green, maybe not so much, but you know, some of you may think that green is perfect for Valentine's Day too. And who am I to judge you? I wouldn't judge you. I'm super excited to play with this. Super excited. I think I know what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to film with this soon and use some other products from Saints, Angels, Sinners and something else that Steph gifted to me. I think I'm going to do like a purple, all purple makeup look and use the shades out of here. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm still thinking it through. And then I grabbed the Nomad Cosmetics Tokyo Harajuku palette because the color story in here reminds me of the conversation hearts, the little candy hearts that you give to your buddies on Valentine's Day. At least that's what I did when I was in like middle school, grade school, whatever. We would give the little conversation heart boxes to each other. And then we couldn't do that anymore for whatever reason. I don't know. But I love doing that. It was so fun, you know? And we had such a blast, like passing them around to each other. And, you know, you'd go give your crush the I love you one. And then, you know, anyway, did anybody else do that? Or am I the only one? But I just think this is such a lovely pastel color story. And I'm going to be filming with this one next. The next Nomad 2 looks video is going to be with this one. I'm really excited. It is maybe a little tricky for me to create looks with this just because it's pastels and I don't typically do all pastel looks, but I think it's going to be really fun to challenge myself to do that. But yeah, I think this says Valentine's Day conversation hearts candies. And I had to include the P. Louise Watch the Queen Conquer palette, especially this, primarily this side of the palette, because it's got the pinks and kind of reddish, well, no, mostly pinks and purples and like magentas. I think this would be a lovely palette, this side of the palette, lovely to put a Valentine's Day themed look together with. Even the peachy corally stuff I think would be really fun too. And this is one of my top 3 palettes in my collection. It was number 1, but Steph's palette has beat that out now. But yeah, this is in the top 3, definitely. Just a lovely formulation. Everything works really well. Wonderful range of shades and textures. So fun. And then I also grabbed the LA Girl Pro Mastery palette because this also has kind of the toned down, if I can open it, these nails. Sometimes with nails I can't do anything. This has kind of the more toned down reds and burgundies and mauves and pinks, but not super over the top, bright, vibrant, you know, if you're wanting a more neutral Valentine's Day themed look, I think this would be perfect because it's got the Valentine's Day tones in here, just more neutral. And this is a lovely palette. I am going to start doing Throwback Thursdays. Jan Van has really inspired me to do that. And then Dawn, friend and subscriber, she's like, is Erica going to do a Throwback Thursday? And I'm like, Dawn, I think I will. And this is going to be coming in a Throwback Thursday video because I really want to use this. It's so lovely. It hasn't been used in a long time. Geez. Trying to shut this is always a feat in and of itself. Then I pulled out the Flutter by from Colourpop, and this is just a gorgeous mauve neutral, but with a kick to it. I feel like, you know, it's not just browns and tans, and it's got the lovely mauves in here, pinks, like kind of dusty pinks, dusty mauve, with a really nice depth in here too. And this is one of my favorite Colourpop palettes. It does have a pressed glitter, but it's very finely milled. And I think this is a very romantic palette. I don't know why. I've always felt that way about this color story. Whenever I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's so romantic. So romance, Valentine's Day. I think they fit together quite nicely. I also grabbed the Give Me Glow Extra Spicy palette. Now I gotta be careful with this because one of the shades broke. And it's not the palette's fault, it's my fault. Oh, 2 of the shades are broken. It's because I used to have my palette so smashed on that shelf that it just has broken some of the more delicate shadows of my collection. But you know, spicy Valentine's Day. Who doesn't want a spicy Valentine's Day? But the reds in here, even like the kind of peachy shades, I mean, even the bright orange, you can do that for Valentine's Day. Yes, you can. Nobody's the boss of anybody around here. You can do whatever you want. But I think the reds, especially to me, say Valentine's Day and extra spicy. Then I thought the She's and Parties from NAT Cosmetics is a good choice for Valentine's Day too. I love this color story. Again, this is a very romantic color story for me too. I guess the mauves and like the burgundies to me just say romance. But yeah, I love this. I've used this not nearly enough, but I'm really impressed with how the shadows perform. I want to use this again soon. I might do a 2 looks video with this too. I'm going to be doing a ton of 2 looks videos in 2024, just to let you know, give you a warning. But yeah, don't you think that's nice for Valentine's Day? I think it is, for sure. I also had to grab the Modern Renaissance from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And this might be a little bit redundant with some of the other palettes I've shown, you know, like the LA Girl Pro Mastery, the Plush Like Me. I mean, this is kind of a similar, pretty similar color story to those. But the quality is a little different, the formula is different, and you know, I think a lot of people have this in their collection, and I don't know, maybe you wouldn't think this is good for Valentine's Day, and maybe after seeing this, you might change your mind. I don't know, maybe not. But I think it's a lovely Valentine's Day type palette, you know, the reds, brick reds, burgundies, soft pinks, the neutral options too, you know. Again, you have another option for not bright and over the top, just a nice, lovely, classy Valentine's Day look. Now I struggled with this one. I grabbed the Freddy Krueger palette from Glam because I don't really like this palette. But it's got the reds in here, you know, it's got it, but they don't really pull red on me either. I don't know. Ash and I, both of us are like, this palette, but my friend Tracy loves this palette. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's just personal taste, of course, but I just was not real thrilled with this palette. I have used it once, I think. I think it's just the one time. I do want to use it again, use all the shades out of here. It's just a weird palette. It really is. But it's got reds in it. So I thought it would be good to pull in today. And maybe you didn't have a bad experience with this palette if you have it. I know Tracy didn't, but Ash and I are like, okay. And of course, I grabbed the NAT Denona Retro palette that Darcy gifted to me, the owner of Saints, Angels, Sinners. It was so kind of her to gift this to me. I think this definitely says Valentine's Day. We've got the reds, the pinks, the burgundies, such a lovely formulated palette. Love the shimmers, love the mattes. I did create 2 looks with this and had a really good time, really fun. I did a softer look and then a deeper look, and you can definitely do that with this palette, either or. You know, everything goes together so well in here. I haven't used all the shades yet, but definitely want to do that. I love how it's packaged. It just feels like real fancy. Yeah, I think this is a lovely palette for Valentine's Day. And then the last one here is the Aussie palette from Rock and Roll Beauty. And I just felt like, especially this side of the palette is really good for Valentine's Day. You know, the reds and browns and burgundies. And even this, you know, you could do a lot of different things, I think, for Valentine's Day with this palette. And I love this palette. I really do. It's so fun. I love Aussie. I love the fact that it's shaped like a bat. And I do think the color story is appropriate for Valentine's Day. So those were the palettes out of my collection that I felt would be perfect for Valentine's Day. Let me know what you think of the palettes I pulled into this. Do you think they're appropriate for Valentine's Day? Do you have any of these palettes? Would you use any of these palettes to create a Valentine's Day look with? We can chat about that in the comment section. Also, let me know what else you have in your collection that you would use to create a look for Valentine's Day with. I would love to chat about that with you too. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I love to chat with you guys there. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. And of course, happy Valentine's Day. Bye.
Drop it.